Welcome back to another video feature for the Immersive Worlds Handbook. Today I am at Ikea, the popular Swedish furniture chain, and I wanted to talk to you about the idea of customization and the individual. There's one chapter I dedicate to the guest, and I talk about how the guest in any immersive space is always the key point of emphasis for both the designers and the operators of that space. And on a recent trip to Ikea, it occurred to me that you get a lot of elements that are focused on the guest. And of course, Ikea is different from some of the other themed and immersive spaces I deal with in the text, but there are some elements from Ikea that I think are good lessons about how to focus on customization and the individual. First is this idea of choice, the idea that you're giving the individual a sense of choice as he or she comes into the space. Ikea does this quite remarkably, I think, with the ways that they give the individual choice about how to choose their products. You have a slew of products you can choose from, and within each of those products you get subcategories. So if you're choosing a chair or pillow, you might have the exact same frame for the chair or the pillow, but then you can put a different covering on it, so that gives you the ability to make a choice, or for the individual, the guest in the space, to make that choice. And of course that also goes along with the second area, which is customization. The idea that you can take a slew of different products, combine them, imagine them in a space, in your home space, and then purchase those products and actually take them home with you and build them, of course. Three is when you're going through the space, the experience is very pleasant. In fact, I was telling my wife when we were walking through the Ikea and purchasing some products that it has many elements to me that seem like a theme park, because even though the emphasis is on the individual finding products and purchasing and later constructing those products at home, the experience itself is quite enjoyable. As you walk through the aisleways, there are pathways, or there are guides that take you from one space to the next, and there's, for me at least, like this sense of anticipation, because as you're getting your handy shopping list, which allows you to put the product name, the article number, the price, the aisle, and the bin. The key is that at the end of the process, you go past the marketplace and you go into the warehouse-looking area, you find the aisles and the bins, you grab those products, you purchase those, and that itself I think is quite revolutionary in terms of how they've dealt with issues of product fulfillment and inventory and so forth. So that experience and enjoyment I think is key. Going along with that, a fourth point I would make is about imagination and inspiration. A lot of the signage and videos and other elements in the store talk about the guest, the consumer, becoming inspired and thinking about being inspired by looking at some of the samples, and again, going back to an earlier point, having that choice and customization when they choose their products and they make their space their own. And I think to sum this up, all phases of the IKEA experience are enjoyable, and you really get a sense that even if you're outfitting a new house or an apartment, that there's a fun to be had going through the IKEA space. So customization and the individual, I think, for me, are key points to think about in any immersive or themed space, and IKEA has really done a great job with making the experience here all about the individual choice and customization.